Hello?
How's it going, Carter?
What's going on, Michael? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So, I appreciate you first of all giving me a few minutes of your time today. So,
Yeah,
why don't
man,
you
no
go ahead
problem.
and
I appreciate you reaching out.
yeah, for sure. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody listening real quick?
Yeah, so Carter Stanley, quarterback from University of Kansas. I'm from Vero Beach, Florida, and 2020 NFL draft prospect.
For sure. So, like you just said, Kansas quarterback. Coming out of high school, you were a three-star recruit. What led to your decision to play at Kansas?
I just really liked the approach that the coaches took. Coach David Beatty was the head coach at the time, and he was coming over from Texas A&M, where he, was involved a lot with Johnny Manziel, and the offense coordinator was Rob Likens, and he was coming from Cal, and he was involved a lot with Jared Goff. So, those two names alone really stood out to me. I had a lot of schools come on to me late in the recruiting process, but I think KU just, they did like a full court press and they really impressed me. And when I took my official visit the weekend before signing day, I just really fell in love with the campus and the people there.
Yeah, for sure. So, not many guys get to see the field as much as you did early on. So how did you use your limited snaps to learn and adjust to the college level?
Just a lot of work with the coaches, a lot of film work. I studied a lot. I learned, luckily for me, I learned at a pretty young time in my playing career that, the more work you put in the film room, just the more slowed down the game gets. So, I definitely credit my coaches early in my career for, kind of instilling that in me. And, definitely my teammates too, just, working with those guys, getting reps with those guys, after practice, staying after and, working routes with those guys just to get those reps down.
For sure. Do you kind of see film as being one of your strong suits?
I definitely would. Going into college, no, I wouldn't. I just kind of relied on ability and, just going out there and trying to make plays. But, the more time went on in college, I definitely relied more and more on, just getting in the film room and becoming familiar with defenses.
For sure. So, what was the atmosphere like when Les Miles took over as head coach following the 2018 season? So obviously, you get a big guy with a big resume and whatnot. So what's that like in the locker room and then maybe the fans buzz and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it was awesome. That first time we walked in that team meeting room, it was just I feel like the whole room just kind of got goosebumps. Just having a legendary coach like that walk into the room. He's got this sweet looking suit on with his national championship ring, and it was really cool just seeing him and knowing that that's going to be our coach of the future. And he also hired some great assistants. I think we got some great assistants out there, and just a great coaching staff overall.
Yeah. So you had a great senior season under Les Miles, completing 60.9% of your passes, over 2,600 yards and 24 touchdowns. How did the coaching change help you showcase your abilities a bit more?
Definitely in many ways. So when Coach Miles first took over, he hired Chip Lindsey as offensive coordinator. And that was Chip Lindsey was coming from Auburn. Unfortunately, fortunate for him, definitely, Coach Lindsey took the head coaching job at Troy. So I never got to work under him. After that, it was Les Kenning who was hired as the offensive coordinator, and he kind of implemented a West Coast style of offense, which at the time I hadn't been too familiar with. But no, it was awesome just to get that experience. And then halfway through the season, we made a change, and Brent Dearman became our offensive coordinator, and his offense was more RPO based. So, and Coach Miles, he implemented a lot of power and some play action stuff. So for me personally, it was awesome just to get so much experience in just some different systems. And I took bits and pieces from every single coach, and I've implemented it to my game.
Yeah. So you became the fifth ever Jayhawks quarterback to toss over 5,000 yards in your career. So how did it feel to like see your hard work pay off and then have success at the high, like a very high level?
Yeah, it something that means a lot to me and my family. I've definitely put the work in, and I think for my senior year to be my best year out there, that definitely meant a lot too, because I was actually thinking about transferring and doing a grad transfer year my last year, but decided to stick it out, and it's definitely the best decision I've ever made, and it was a fun year with my teammates and coaches.
Did Les Miles being hired have something to do with you staying, or is that just like kind of a decision you made before Les was brought up?
Yeah, no, I mean it did. It did definitely influence me in a positive way. Him coming in, obviously with the resume that he has, that meant a lot to me, and just being able to spend time with him in winter workouts and eventually spring ball. I just had a really good feeling about it, and decided to stick it out that summer and into the fall.
Yeah, man, it paid off for sure. So how do you prepare for your transition to the NFL? Like, what kind of like dieting tips do you have, and then like how are your workouts, especially like today's age with the current pandemic? How are you like staying in shape and whatnot?
Right. Yeah. So it was definitely easier before the whole pandemic got big, but no, I think I've still done a great job of managing it all. I've been working out with a quarterback coach, Jake Christensen, who's Patrick Mahomes' private quarterback coach. I've been working out with him since middle of December, and we've done some incredible work, just fundamentals and technique and whatnot. But, I've also been training. Unfortunately, the place where I was training at is, temporarily shut down because of it. But, I've done a lot. I've got, some bands and like some weights at my house that I've been able to still do some workouts with. And, as far as dieting, I got to give credit to my girlfriend and my mom there. They've definitely hooked me up with some great meals, and, I've just been trying to implement stuff like that.
There you go. They're keeping you in check. So what do you feel is your biggest attribute to an NFL roster?
I'd say just a guy that's going to come in and, be a team first guy. I feel like I've always been a team first guy, and, I just feel like I've always, kind of been a likable guy in the locker room. This past year I was a team captain for the team at KU, and, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to bust my butt. I try to be the first guy there, last one to leave. I'm just going to go in there and try to be the best teammate I can be.
Yeah, for sure. So who do you like look up to in the NFL, or like who do you try to like model your game after?
Definitely a few guys. And it's, kind of spans over some time for sure. I'd say like the oldest guy would be John Elway. My quarterback coach and I have watched a lot of film on just John Elway's technique. And, I think he was awesome. Loved watching him. Then I'd say Drew Brees as well. Definitely Drew Brees. And then this is kind of definitely a more recent guy. Last year was his rookie year, but I'd say Trace McSorley, the backup for the Baltimore Ravens. Really good player, and I enjoyed watching him in college, and, I definitely like his style of play.
How would it feel to be drafted by the Saints? They're looking for a backup quarterback.
No doubt, man. I mean, that'd be incredible. I'm obviously open to any team, but just to go down and play for a franchise like New Orleans Saints, like that'd be pretty incredible to learn under Drew Brees and be with a coach like Sean Payton. So that'd be pretty phenomenal.
Right. As a Saints fan, I definitely want to see you in that black and gold, brother. So
yes, sir.
What's your favorite college memory?
Favorite college memory? Man, there's a few, but I'm gonna have to go with this year. Our homecoming game against Texas Tech. We were coming off of a really close loss versus Texas. We lost 48-50 at Texas, and it was our homecoming game. We started off really slow. We were down 17-0, and sure enough, just started making some plays. trusting our coaching, and came all the way back to win it 37-34 with a last-second field goal.
There you go. That's a great memory right there. So
Yeah.
one last question for you, Carter. Do you have any advice to like the young athletes out there chasing their NFL dreams?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of things that you can control is just, working out as much as you can. And that doesn't necessarily mean, be in the weight room all the time, just trying to be like the strongest guy, but, get pickup games going. I can't even tell you how many pickup games I played as a young kid. I'd just run down the street and get as many guys in the neighborhood as I could to, get a pickup football game going. And, we'd be out there for hours. So, just always be active. Always try to get routes with your receivers, some work with your offensive line guys and running backs, and, just always be active and, never give up on that dream.
For sure. Thank you so much for your time today, Carter. Be safe out there, and I can't wait to tune in and see where you end up.
Yes, sir. Michael, I really appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. You too.